Hey, what's up? My name is Colby Sharp, 5th grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where we talk about books and kids and reading. And today is the latest episode of my books my students are reading. And I love making these. And it's wild to think that these are the books that many of them will begin spring break reading. And hopefully they read tons on spring break. And I'm just going to go through each book and let you know which, just talk a little bit about it. It's kind of fun. I like it. Jedi Academy. A new class. Jared Krasaska's first book after taking over for Jeffrey Brown. Kids love this. I've had 5 or 6, I think, read the whole series. It's fun to see. I think this kid is actually rereading them. He has been reading a ton this year, and he's kind of going through a kick where he's been rereading his favorite series. He recently finished rereading all of the Origami Yoda series, and now he's rereading all of the Jedi Academy books. Next up, Coop Knows the Scoop. Terrence Souders. One of my students read it, and now her really good friend is reading it. So I love when that happens, those little community building things. This is a New York Times best-selling 2022 middle grade novel, New from Here by Kelly Yang. Looks at a family coming to live from Asia to live in the United States during the beginning of the pandemic and the difficulties they faced and the racism that they encountered. A wonderful book, really kind of mirrors a situation similar to what Kelly went through, bringing her family here to the States during that time. A wonderful book. 2 or 3 of my kids have read it. Both thought very highly of it, and it's fun to see it making its way around the room. Wimpy Kid Big Shot. So this kid's trying to read all the Wimpy Kids. He made it halfway through 5th grade without reading a Wimpy Kid. Now he's reading one every couple days as he makes his way through the series. He's on book 16. I'm so proud of him. Next up, Finding Perfect by Ellie Swartz. We've had a few students recently read her new book, Dear Student, and it's fun to see some of them want to explore more of what Ellie has to offer. And she's got a lot to offer young readers, which is exciting. Another kid reading some Wimpy Kid Old School. That's one of my favorites. Super fun. Nice to see. This is the latest, like, really hot read in the classroom, The Road to After by Rebecca Lowell. I made a book talk video where I talked about this one on my channel. If you want to learn more, just search it on YouTube and you can find it. But what really amazing novel in verse about a girl, her sister, and her mother who are exiting at the beginning of the book an abusive relationship. The father and husband really controlling, like really, it's really, really bad. Like, they can't ever go anywhere without him. They're homeschooled. They can't be, like, basically they're prisoners in their own home. So this is a really powerful, heartbreaking, wonderful book. Ground Zero, this is making the rounds. I think this is under the 3rd or 4th kid. A lot of kids are fascinated with 9/11. When we were doing our informational writing, a lot of kids are writing about it. And then it kind of springboarded into a lot of kids reading fiction about it. I love when that happens. I'm seeing a lot of books that are like onto their 4th or 5th reader this year, and that makes me so happy. We read Out of My Mind in December, I think, or January, either before winter break or right after winter break. Before winter break, yeah. And a bunch of kids have been reading this, and a bunch of them are telling me it's even better than Out of My Mind, which when we read Out of My Mind as a read aloud, and kids generally love the read aloud, and they did. So for them to be reading a book independently and with those same characters and loving it even more makes my heart sing. La la la. I recently got a new copy of this for the classroom library and book talked it, and now we have a kid reading it from the desk of Zoe Washington. Really powerful book. This girl's father is incarcerated, and at the very beginning of the book she gets a letter, and it's like the first time she's heard from him. And come to find out, maybe he has been writing and her parents haven't been letting her see them. Wonderful, wonderful story from the desk of Zoe Washington. All right, let's look at this next stack. A new reader into the 5 Worlds graphic novel series. One of my students, this is her favorite series of the entire year, so I love seeing it find its way to another reader in my classroom. Maybe that'll make it explode a little bit. I recently read Operation Do-Over, gave it a book talk, and it's a pretty good book, pretty easy book to book talk. The story of a kid who has a situation with, there's like a love triangle, and he kisses the girl, and then he loses his friendship with his best buddy. Then things, go forward 5 years to when they're seniors in high school, and something bad happens then. And then he flashes back. He goes back to living as a kid, but with all he knows from being like his high school years, but he goes back to middle school, and he's like trying to like change things so his dog doesn't get hit by a car, so he doesn't ruin his friendship. Super fun. Graphic novels. Have you seen the Magic Treehouse graphic novels? I think I have the right page. But yeah, these are really popular, which is fun. I think I have another kid reading a Magic Treehouse. Well, look, John David Anderson. I saw a kid reading this. I'm like, oh, I love John David Anderson's work. I just read Riley's Ghost and book talked it to the class. But I'm like, I haven't read that one. You have to let me know if it's any good and if I should read it. And that instantly just like upped her motivation to read it. So she could tell me about it. Rules. This girl's read everything from Our Only May Amelia to, I don't know, Just New From Here. She's read Sticks and she's read like everything. All the answers. She's read like all of the realistic fiction, powerful realistic fiction. So many of them she's read. Now she's reading Rules, which is super fun. I had to check. I actually didn't have a copy of this. I had to get it from the Jackson District Library. Swindle, Gordon Corman. Gordon Corman's pretty popular this year and many years, so it's exciting to see a kid trying this one out. Barbara O'Connor, we are currently 20 pages away from finishing Greetings from Nowhere, her middle grade novel, and this has been probably her most popular book I've ever had as a teacher. Wish. Click. We just got the new book in this series, and some kids are going back and reading some of the earlier copies. The new book by like the end of last year, I think. This girl likes the creepy stuff, and she told me that this is like one of the best creepy stuff books she's ever read. So wait till Helen comes. You probably heard of Mary Downing Hahn, very popular with all of the kids who are into that kind of stuff. We do have a kid reading Magic Treehouse. That's really exciting. Dragon of the Red Dawn, Mr. Wolf's Class. The new one just came out, Snow Day, so kids are trying again to get caught up before they read that one. I just read Snow Day, and now my daughter's reading it, so she's got to finish it so I can bring it into class. And then How to Steal a Dog, or Barbara O'Connor, BOC. I'll tell you, read aloud really it empowers and is powerful and impacts reading. Read aloud, book talks, books your classmates are reading, series you love, authors you love. So many great things happening in here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you found some great titles that maybe you can add to your to-read list and add to your classroom library. My name is Colby Sharp. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have an awesome-tastic day.